Hey, good afternoon. My name is Pastor Dustin Spittler. Thank you for tuning in to Faith Fuel Devotionals, where we try to get some spiritual strength in our day. How's it going? How are you doing? Boy, it's had a couple nice days here in Indiana recently. A little rainy, but it's very nice to be in the month of June, and the summer months are great. Hope the days are treating you well as well. Today, we're in the book of James again, and we are in chapter 5. We're going to start a new topic and a new thought for the next couple sessions, so I hope it'll be a blessing to you. Just a reminder, James is a person that is talking to saved people, talking to scattered people, and he's talking to struggling people. And sometimes we are saved and we feel scattered and spread out, and also we feel like we're struggling. Guess what? You're in good company, and the book of James can be an encouragement to you. I would like to say, if you don't know for sure if you're saved, I encourage you to look into that. Really, you can go to our website, visionbc812.com, and there's a little place about eternal truths. There's some great stuff you can read there about how to know for sure you're on your way to heaven. But also, we need to know that we go through burdens and trials and tribulations, don't we? Whether we're saved or lost. And one thing we know, if we don't have a trial now, it's coming. It's on the way. And we need to get to the point where we mature and we're able to go through trials and come out on the other side stronger. If you can get to that point in your life, that's because God has been working. And this is a wonderful test. Today we're going to deal a little bit with and how we can judge that we're coming through our trials on the positive. And we're talking about James chapter 5, verse number 7 and 8. Beware of impatience. Oh boy, you had to say that word, Pastor Dustin. Yeah, I know. None of us got it. We have to get it from the Lord. But here's some things that we can learn about it today. James chapter 5 and verse number 7 and 8 says, Be patient, therefore, brethren, and unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman, or the farmer, waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Verse 8, Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Here's what I want to get across to us today. We need to ask for patience. And that's a callback, all right? When we go all the way back to James chapter 1 and verse number 5, he says you need to ask for wisdom. And when he gives you wisdom, it says it's going to give you patience as well. Let patience have her perfect work, that she may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And so we need to ask God for wisdom, yes, but we also need to ask God for patience. When was the last time you prayed for patience? The old preacher said, yep, if you pray for patience, guess what? God's going to test to see if you have it or not. But that's okay. We're going to need it either way. And when it comes to patience, here's what God needs to help us with specifically in the area of patience. We need to obtain patience for our perspective, and we need to obtain patience for obeying precepts. Obtaining perception and obeying precepts. You know, when it comes to patience, it's really all about perception, how you are viewing things. The patient person sees God working behind the scenes, and it gives them faith to keep going on. The impatient person is not seeing God behind the scenes, and that way they give up more quickly, and that's the problem. How do you view this life? How do you view this world? And it gives us really in verse 7 a couple things on obtaining perception. We see here a time-sensitive command, we see a time-sensitive career, and we see time-sensitive compensation through this, the area of the farmer. Now think about the time-sensitive command. It says, Be ye patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. That's when God comes back for us, whether that's when we're talking about Revelation, but God also comes back before he comes back, and he comes for us. There is a day that we will meet the Lord. All right, and that's the day that the Lord will come. Some people will not last until what we call the rapture. Some people will die before that time comes if the Lord tarries. But there will be coming a time before the Lord comes back. What this is saying is you need to be patient until you have no more reason to be patient. How do I know I have no more reason to be patient? Because you are with the Lord forever. in a place called heaven. Be patient until your last breath is what he's trying to say. Be patient until the very end. Continue to be patient. I don't care if you're in your 80s. Be patient. I don't care if you're in your 90s. Be patient. And we need to make sure that this is a time-sensitive command. I'm not going to have to be patient forever. There's going to come a time where I will meet the Lord and my patience will be done. All right? So remember that. Now, when is the Lord coming back? We don't know our day. And we don't know the time when the Lord will return. Okay? This is an open-ended in a sense, but also there is an end to it. Now, this time-sensitive command is also paired with a time-sensitive career. Because here we see the husbandman and the farmer, where it says, "Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth." Probably one of the most difficult careers in the world is being a farmer. Because think how much control the farmer has over the rain and the soil and the sun and the clouds. He has zero control over this. Probably one of the most difficult jobs to have, because his whole career, when you think about it, is in the hand of the Lord. Now, I think here in Indiana, most of us grew up around farming. If we didn't farm ourselves, or our parents didn't farm, our grandparents did, or our aunts and uncles did. And so we are very familiar with this. But think about this: the right rain at the right time makes a happy farmer. The wrong rain at the wrong time makes a sad farmer. We need rain after the seeds are planted, not really before. Time and time again, you'll see rain in the early months of the harvest, or of the planting time, and it's too muddy to get out there. Right rain at the right time. All in the hand of God. You know, sometimes in our life, we're like a farmer. There are things out there that you can't control. I can't control it. We are at the complete mercy of God in what happens in the weather. Sometimes we're not in complete mercy of the weather. It's what other people are doing. You know, you need to start viewing yourself and perceiving yourself as someone who can't control everything. And that will give you patience. It really will. When you say, "This is not in my control, this is in God's control." All right, you need to view yourself like a farmer. You can only control what you can control. You can't control anybody else, no more than the farmer can control the rain. And also, there is a time-sensitive career, but there is a time-sensitive compensation, because it says in verse number 7 again, "Hath long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain." So while there is a science to farming, a large portion of it is dependent on God. The early rain is needed for the planting, and the latter rain is needed for the growth. All right, and it's all about God in control, and we need to have the proper perspective. And the second thing he says here in verse number 8, we need to be obeying precepts. And he says very boldly here, be ye also patient. And this is a command, all right? Just as the farmer has to be patient, Christian, you be patient. It's a command. It's not a suggestion. It's not okay for you to lose your patience. It's not good. That is wrong. You need to have patience, and you can have patience. How? Well, be spiritually stimulated by Scripture and by prayer. You need to let God work in your life. If you are away from God's Word, God's people, and a relationship with the Lord, you're not going to be a patient person. The closer you are to the Lord, He will stimulate. He will push this patience in your life. And it's very important. And then also we see here, we need to be core confirmed. Yes, be spiritually stimulated, but be core confirmed. Establish your hearts, he says. Your heart needs to be settled. I'm going to trust God. I'm going to trust God. I messed up yesterday, but today I'm going to get back on the wagon, and I'm going to trust God. I have to have this core fundamental principles in my heart, in my mind, that I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit. Do you have that? You need to be established like a foundation. Okay, the farmer, I'm gonna farm. I'm gonna continue to do this. My whole life is invested in this. I have my tractors. I have my plows. I have all my equipment wrapped up in this. I'm not quitting. This is my job. I'm at the mercy, yes, of things I can't control, but I ain't quitting. So often we quit too soon. Just stick with it. just stick with it. Be patient. God will bless it. It'll work out. Be patient, be core confirmed, and lastly, be mindfully motivated. Because as he says here at the end of verse 8, for the Lord, the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. So important that in these times where we see that God can come back at any day because of the things that are happening, this is more than ever the time to stay by the stuff. Okay? This is not the time to drop off. As the Lord draws nigh and the coming of our days draw to an end, we need to be on it. We need to be there. We need to be resolved. We need to be steadfast in it because people are watching us and people need us. Ask for patience. Have a great day.